Hi, and welcome to this week's FridAI with me, Billy McLaughlin. I am coming at you from a different angle today because I have broken my tripod, but also from a different angle because today I'm going to be doing a Sage special, which is so exciting. This week I was lucky enough to go down to the Shard and to have a breakfast briefing all around Sage Copilot, which, as you know from a few FridAIs ago, is their new AI assistant. Now, what I find really interesting is one of the songs that they have on their demo video is We Are Your Friends, and it gives you that kind of warm, fuzzy feeling and how great the system's going to be. But when Steve Hare got up and started his discussion and started his talk, he said, This is not a friend. It's not there to have conversation with you. It is purely here to save you time and give you insights. So they really are homing in on the fact that they want this to be a useful, efficient tool. For those of you that don't know, Steve Hare is the CEO. He has been for around 5.5 years. He is an accountant and he used to also be a small business owner. So he has got a feel for what is needed in the market, which is brilliant. He also said it's going to be the latest industrial revolution. Everyone's going to be talking about the time that AI incepted the market and what we did about it. And since Sage launched their waiting list for Copilot, they've had over 1,000 people interested, which I think shows that there is a great demand in the market. And over 150 people are trialing at the moment, which is brilliant. Now, I'm going to start with kind of one of the big restrictions of the system. And it's not necessarily a negative. I'm not that type of person. But the restriction that they are talking about is that it does not have access to the internet. And this is because they want to avoid the hallucinations that you see with other systems such as ChatGPT. So they want to keep the source of information very controlled, very confined, and ensure that they're maximizing the intelligence of the system, but at the same time, kind of managing the access of where it gets the information from, which I imagine is very hard to do. So initially, it's going to be doing 5 things very, very well, which is quite interesting. They're not just going to be running out there and giving you a ton of features. They really want to build the trust with the users. And I am so glad that Sage are doing this because by just giving you maybe 5 features that work well and work 100% of the time, not only is that going to build trust and reliability and give people faith in using it, people can then kind of look at what features they would like and request them and put their ideas forward, which is brilliant. So Andreas, who did a bit more of a contextual overview, he was saying that in the future, or kind of now, I guess, the people that are coming through into the profession, they're going to expect certain tasks to be done by technology. So Sage, I imagine the 5 tasks that they've concentrated on initially are the most demanded ones, the ones that people are kind of doing and they're feeling like they're not getting a lot of value from. And Andreas had a really good point in saying that these tasks now will be brilliant for those using them. And then in the future, they'll be able to access WhatsApp and Microsoft and retrieve data from all these sources because that's what will be expected. But there's no point in doing that if people don't trust it because it wasn't very good in the first place. Now, obviously, if you use the whole Sage suite, you're going to see a better benefit for this, but it's not a prerequisite. And the initial launch is going to be for Sage Accounting for Small Business only, just to give those people a chance to use it and feedback and give it a go. I think that's probably the category that will benefit the most as well. And as I said, they are trialing it at the moment with 150 accountants. And I think the statistic they've got at the moment is that it's going to save 4 days a month, which is pretty quite a lot of money, I guess, in terms of the staff, and also pretty ambitious. So I would be interested to see people's real thoughts on that. But Georgia did a demo, which was great, and she showed the 3 ways that it works. And by watching it, I was thinking, actually, I can see why in the future 4 days is not too much. So the first way is using chat, which is just at the top right, chat box. I don't think I really need to describe to you what that is, but you can ask it those questions of who is my highest paid supplier, for example, and it will retrieve that data and feed it back to you. The second way is insights, which is by far my favorite way. So when you're using the Sage screen, it will have a little purple icon that says, here's one insight, here's two insights. And it gives you that kind of food for thought. It prompts you to look at certain things. So an example might be, you've got 18 clients that you've not started self-assessment for yet. Would you like us to chase the information? You click yes, it drafts you an email. Does this look okay? You click yes, send it on. Alternatively, it might say you've got 3 transactions that need reconciling, or you've got the supplier that's just suddenly changed their days that you've got to pay by, something like that. So with regards to the email aspect, which is the third way you can use Copilot, when it does draft those emails, you can then edit them and it will remember the way that you have edited and make sure that in the future it kind of goes with your tone of voice. So this is Email by Copilot, which I think is a working title, if I remember rightly from what Georgie said. But chasing, draft emails for requesting information, that type of thing that none of us got into the profession for, it's going to be able to do that for us, which is great. So that was a very quick overview. I mean, it was a 2-hour breakfast and I've just covered it in about 5 minutes. But a very quick overview of what is coming. It's so exciting. If you are at Accountex next week, please go and see the guys at Stage and have a little demo on this. I think you are going to absolutely love it. And we've got to think about the future here. If the government does bring in things like e-invoicing, business to business, platform to platform, we need to be geared up as accountants ready to serve our clients. So I hope that was helpful. I hope you have a brilliant weekend. I'll see you all next week at Accountex. Please do come say hello to the 2020 team. We are actually just in between Sage and Zero. And I will see you next week. Have a good weekend.